Looking at the description of this channel, I realized I have been a little bit biased towards hardware tutorials. That's why I decided that today we'll build a console-based scientific calculator project from scratch in C. This project uses a lot of advanced C concepts that will help you advance your knowledge of C, such as data structures, self-referential structs, and good old pointers. It is important to note that this project revolves around the use of these advanced concepts rather than building a perfect calculator. So please don't judge some of the approaches used to solve problems in this project. Thank you. A typical calculator takes inputs, performs the necessary calculations, and then outputs the final answer, which is all we need to do. But I chose Doubly Linked List as a data structure to use in this project for two main reasons. Number one, because I have free will, and number two, why not? First thing we need to do is to create the entry point of our program, which is a file that contains the main function. In this case, we call this file main.c, which is a popular convention. Next, we need a way to receive inputs from a terminal. So we create another C file to handle inputs alongside its header file. We try as much as possible to separate independent parts of the program to improve readability and reduce complexity. Inside this new file, we will create a function that takes inputs from the terminal using the fget function. It is a perfect fit for this because it is safe and copies up to a new line. There are about 1 million keys on a keyboard, and we only need a minute amount of the characters the keyboard can output for our calculator, such as the basic arithmetic operations, parentheses, numbers, and decimal points, and also characters to represent special functions. I have arbitrarily chosen all the lowercase alphabets, with each mapping to a special function. The input from the fget is stored in a local buffer, but it may still contain escape sequences. So using a for loop, we copy each valid character into the buffer argument, neglecting escape sequences such as new lines, white spaces, and tabs. We also make sure that there are no invalid characters, that is, characters that are outside the scope of our calculator. Next, we create another set of C and header file to handle the processing of the strings. The first function in this file is a syntax checker that ensures that the input makes sense to both maths and the calculator. It returns 1 if the input makes sense and 0 if it doesn't. Before we talk about the second function in the core.c file, we need to understand what the doubly linked list is. A doubly linked list is a data structure that is made up of nodes containing data, where each node links to consecutive nodes in both directions, such that we can traverse the list in both directions. The first node in the list is called the head, while the last node is called the tail. You may probably be wondering what that has to do with calculations. Just be patient. You understand as we move on. We can implement a doubly linked list in C using self-referential structs, which is a fancy name for a struct that contains pointers to the same struct as itself. In our core header file, we will define the template for this struct and type def it to node to make my life easier than it already is. Inside this struct, we will have 5 members: a long to hold numbers, char to hold characters, and 3 pointers. The first pointer will be made to point to the next node, while the second pointer will be made to point to a previous node. And then we will talk about the third pointer, which is the middle pointer, subsequently. Now we can talk about the second function. This function takes in our input string and converts it into a doubly linked list with branches for special functions. The link is stored in the heap. Each node of the list can either be an operand, an operator, or a parenthesis symbol. We use a for loop to traverse through the string array and create nodes at the right time. Whenever we create a node, we keep a pointer to it, so when we create the next node, we will have access to it, so we can set the pointers appropriately. To make an operator node, we copy the operator character into the character variable of the struct, while the value variable is left undefined. To make an operand node, we use the string to long function to convert number characters to numbers, and it is stored in the value variable of the struct. And then we set the character variable to capital N, so we can know if a particular node is an operand or an operator by just checking if the character of the struct is a capital N. Special functions that require one operand are not placed in the main list, but as a branch on its operand node. The main pointer from the struct is used to point to the branch. The head's previous pointer is set to null, likewise the tail's next pointer. While loops use this to know where the list ends when traversing forward or backward through the list. The list format function returns a pointer to the head of the list. Next, we create another set of C and header file to handle calculation logic. The first function is the add multiplication function. This function adds multiplication operator nodes between number nodes and open parenthesis node, and also between numbers that are separated by single operation special function. The core function in this file is the calculate function. This function takes two operand nodes and estimates the node in between to a single node in the order of special functions to bird mass. It does this by calling other functions such as 1, the special function. This function is used to resolve the branches. This is the first function call inside the calculate function. The calculate function traverses the list, checking the middle pointer of every node. If the node has a branch, it calls the special function. The special function uses a switch statement to check for the right operation to perform on the value of the node hosting the branch node. After performing the appropriate operation, it deletes that branch node. The second function are the arithmetic and double operand special functions. These functions are called to resolve the main list. The calculate function uses a while loop to traverse the list in the order of the special functions to bird mass. If an instance of any of the operator is found, it calls the corresponding function for that operation. All the operations in the main list are similar in the way they perform their operation. Immediately the while loop gets to an operator node, it calls the corresponding function with the previous and the next node as arguments. Inside the corresponding function, the operation is performed and the answer is stored in the value of the first operand. Then the list bypasses the operator and the second operand, after which they are deleted. Then the function returns the operand 1 node. The final function in this file is the estimate function. This function is what makes resolving parentheses possible. The calculate function is called in this function as a matter of fact. The estimate function is a recursive function that invokes itself whenever it meets an open parenthesis node. The open parenthesis node represents the beginning of a new scope. The recurse function continues traversing the list and stops whenever it reaches the close parenthesis node, and then calls the calculate function from the node after the open parenthesis node to the node before the close parenthesis node, or it recurses if it hits an open parenthesis node before the respective close parenthesis node. This recursion accounts for nested and multiple parenthesis scope. And also note that the parenthesis amount must be even, and each open parenthesis node must have a respective close parenthesis node. If there are no parentheses in the list, it just calls the calculate function from head to tail and returns the answer to the main function. There are obviously better approaches to building a console-based scientific calculator, but I find this way to be so satisfying because of the feeling of bringing an idea from the far archives of my mind into real life. The link to this GitHub repository is in the description. Feel free to check it out and also drop your thoughts of this project in the comment section. If you find this video interesting, please hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 10,000 subs. And also don't forget to like and share. Thank you.